Now, this is Baruch here, and this is the night Zohar, Parshas Pinchas, as we're creeping along little by little to see all of the valuable things that are in this Parsha. We're try to mine them out for ourselves. So we get little bits and pieces of this as we go along, and there are tremendous secrets in this. We'll try to see if we can get an understanding. Now, yesterday we were learning that Pinchas, because of the fact that he stood at the breach, so to speak, and stopped the Megeva, he wound up getting an extra yud in his name. The Zohar went over and he started to say, well, this is to let you know, because what Pinchas did was really an act of, he was judge, jury, and executioner over there. So therefore, he was open to accusations from all different kinds of places. But then the Zohar comes over and he said, well, let me tell you what happens is that when you add the yud onto the name Pinchas, which is spelled Pein Nun Ches Samach, and you put a yud in there, it comes to the same gematria as Yitzchak. And Yitzchak is the concept of Gebura Kedusha. Now, we usually think of Gebura. Gebura is something that's bad because it's associated with dinim, punishments. But it's also important, associated with creation because all those Elokims at the beginning of Parshas Bereshis, those are all dinim. So all of the things are required to be able to make something new. And that's what happened with Pinchas. He became a different person. So this Zohar here, though, is thinking about Pinchas in relationship to Yitzchak. So the Zohar says, here we are right now, we're reading the Zohar. Now this is going to get right, into deeper waters over my head right away. The translation is if you say if you take the gematrias of the two names, they only depend on the eyes of malchut. And then also, if you look up above, then you see that the count goes with Yitzchak. So I'm a little lost, but that's definitely it. Because why? What's the relationship between Yitzchak and these eyes, which we're going to find out is the eyes of malchut? He said the common dining dinin the call because there at this place in malchut is where all of the judgment of the world takes place. The whole in the law inin shivihim cathedra. So these are like I think this means like the 70 people of the Sanhedrin. Asin the din in the alnach of the Yikruk of the Sanhedrin. This is the place, this is the cathedraim, I think must mean the courts. That is, all the judgments of the whole world come out from this place called the Sanhedrin. And in this we understand that everything is really one thing. Begin the Yitzchak because Yitzchak and they go together. The Kula Shaper and everything is beautiful. Now I would say that is about as mysterious as a piece of Torah that you could possibly get. But we do understand that there is a relationship between Yitzchak and Pinchas. Now, let's read here what the Matuk Midrash is going to help us to understand. Being Tomer, so if you say, Hare so the Cheshbon Eina Taloi Ela Be'einayim Shalom. When you talk about counting, that only really replies to the eye, her eyes. It's only called mini cheshbonos, all the different counting, because this is part of the action of malchut. Malchut is the counter. She's the one who receives all of the enumeration of all the physical things become more physical in the level of malchut. It's only called mini cheshbonos shel hasfiros. Hein be'einayim shel malchus are in the eyes of malchus. Shehem achochm shalom. Now he's telling me things I don't know, so I'm just saying them and reading them like you said. And there he says, "Einayim kashel hamalchus shehem achochm shalom," which is he says the eyes of malchus are located in her chochmah. Now we have to understand that all the sephiros have 10 spheros within them, and they're constantly going over this idea in the Zohar that you are comparing one level to the next. There's lots of different ways that you could look at this. There's a way which is called Ovi. You can look at everything in the broad sense. There's a Chochmah and Malchus. There's a Chochmah in what's right next to it, which would be Yisod. Then on and on and on and on like that. He said, "Yisod einecho babrachos b'cheshbon," that your eyes have brachos in their count. So Malchus is the place of counting. B'kan ata toiva cheshbon shel Pinchas, and that's the place where you find the weighing of the accounting of Pinchas. So you get shava the Yitzchak that should become equal to Yitzchak. Yitzchak is the Kedusha Dika Gevura, the Mala Gevura. I just want to say something that I thought that I saw today. I was reading and looking at a history of the Mossad, and the 1972 massacre that took place. The Israelis had to know that you went into Germany, into Munich, which is where really Hitler got his greatest start. And you're going to go and appear before a world that hates you. You're putting your life on the line, all of these athletes. And that's the Gevura of Yitzchak, because all of the rest that happened after that, the tremendous unraveling of the power of the PLO. But we sacrificed. Now, this is a fact that he's telling us a fact, that the Chochmah aspect of Malchus is where all of the Cheshbonis go. Cheshbonis means that you're sifting through what is this way or that way, this way or that way. The fee shehagavur the Yitzchak tului v'nimshach la'oza amapa menikva ranayim, because the gavur of Yitzchak now is telling me that there is this is perhaps the sweetened gavur, the gavur which is not evil, the gavur which is not indiscriminate, but the gavur which is based on sacrifice. The Haidach of the Chochmah of the Malchus, that it goes, that all of the Gevurah of Yitzchak goes to the Chochmah of Malchus, Asina HaCheshbon, the Pinchas, and that's where you see the counting of Pinchas. So Pinchas and Yitzchak are weighed in the same place, that is in the Chochmah of Malchus. Kisham Danim Esadim, because that's the place of judgment. Shakal Olam of the whole world, Mitkoyach HaGevurah, because all of the Gevurah is there. Gevurah is the act of being able, also in many aspects of the Gevurah, but one of them is the aspect of the straight line. Not the straight center line that we talk about between right, left, and center, but we mean straightening things up, making things straight. That is a Gevurah. So he said, because all of the dinim, whether they come from the Chochmah aspect of Malchus. Why? Because the eyes of Malchus, how many eyes are there of Malchus? There's 7. The Reish Milas Aver Ayin. So, Misbar Ayin Shiba Ayin. Let me see if I translate it. Shahare Einir Malchus Danim Hem Shivim, Kolomar Daresh Milas Aver Ayin, Kamo Misbar Ayin. So take the word Ayin and just boil it down to the same word, which is letter Ayin, which comes to be 70. Shiromazal Ayin Kaselos, the Ayin Sanhedrin, which is to teach you about the 70 different chairs of the Sanhedrin, Shehem Ayin Malachim Malchus, which also are the 70 Malachim of Malchus. Now that's quite a statement, and I'll keep reading on because I don't know it, so I'm learning it now. Let me just go back over some of the things he said. Kol chadinin shebe'olim shorsha b'dinin shebe'chochma the Malchus. That's the easiest thing to think of. Is that one of the spheres of Malchus is chochma. That's the place you find. So you will find it. Shahare Malchus adanim ein shivim, because there are 70 eyes in Malchus that judge. The longer darish milas aver ayin. So now to take the idea of the eye itself. and you darshan it like the Mispar Ayin, like the number 70. Shavi, Sharomas al the Ayin Kasos, the Ayin Sanhedrin, Shaim Ayin Malachi Amalchus. So he's telling me what? That the 70 members of the seven were actually a type of Malachim. I'm not sure that's what he's saying. They're Shaim Ayin Malachi Hamalchus. But the Fishach Gevurah and the Meshachah, the Chochmah, the Malchus, and since the Gevurah winds up in this Chochmah Malchus, which is this ayin, which is this concept of 70, which is the different eyes, the different ways of judging. Which is the place of the din of all the whole world were found. The Nikroyan Sanhedrin, they're called also by the name Sanhedrin. Everything is really one. The Yitzchak, the Einayim, Shalamalchus, Cholchem Yachad, they go together. And this is the way that it's supposed to be. It's quite beautiful. And even if we make the cheshbon in Gevurah, the malchus, that's the Gevurah that we're talking about, the one that's the Gevurah of Yitzchak, that winds up in the 70 eyes of malchus, which is the place, I just have to say this again, Shehem Ayin Malachi Malchus. This is Baruch Fleischman, Night Zohar, Pinchas-Yitzchak.